What's good, everybody? It's your boy J7X4 here, and I really just wanted to talk about the current place of Myheroacademia that we are sitting on. And you know, if it's anything Toga related, I'm definitely gonna go ahead and talk about it because that's literally almost every other video that I talk about when it comes to MHA. But anyway, I wanted to talk about this episode because it feels like, or just the entire season, it just feel like nothing really happened. Like, it's feeling, I kind of understand where people like, yo, MHA is kind of boring right now. The anime is boring. It kind of feels like that. I feel that. But if you talk about the manga, then hell no. The manga is absolutely crazy right now. But I honestly think that you guys should just read the manga instead of, you know, watching the anime. Not saying that the anime is just all bad, because there's obviously some good moments, but I just don't feel like the anime does it justice right with the manga. Now, I'm not getting into the whole topic of, oh, X was drawn differently compared to Y in the anime, you know? Like, it was drawn so differently, had so much detail. Look, the manga is always going to have some extra detail into it that you're never going to see in the anime. That's just how it is. They both work on two different levels and two different time schedules in how people can, you know, draw pictures and stuff. So you have to, because anime is moving pictures, you don't get to do all that detailed stuff like you would in the manga. Now, sometimes you can, it depending on what you are and how things work in the studio, but that's not how it works a lot of the time. Manga is just a standstill image with a bunch of panels. You can work on however you like when it comes to those panels, but you know, so it's gonna have two different time constraints of how things are drawn and worked on differently, you know. So don't expect it to look exactly one-to-one with the manga at times. But it, from what I did see and what I remember, it did have a lot of shots from the manga that I do appreciate that they, you know, went into, and I absolutely do love a lot of those shots. But it just kind of, is it me though, or does it feel like they rushed Toga's story just a bit? Like, I thought it was gonna be a whole, like, huge episode the way they was going about it in the manga, because I thought that was like a huge part, especially with, you know, Toga revealing that she has the ability to not only copy what someone looks like, but copy the ability of that person that she looks like. Because that's a huge thing. That was a major thing when that popped off in the manga. A lot of people was tripping about that because it was like, what? How does she get like a ability? Nobody likes her. That's like so cap. That should be a thing. Like, that makes no sense. Like, a lot of people was tripping about that. I wasn't, because I was like, yes, she's living. Yes, my yandere queen is alive. And I was absolutely hyped because this episode was the reason why I started even reading the actual manga, because I heard, like, back then, I was hearing from a friend that was like, hey, I think Toga finna die. So I'm like, wait, what? So I was just catching up from the manga, from all the way back to Overhaul's arc, all the way to this current episode. That's how I tried to catch up in a 3-day span period of time, which it was nothing but reading and reading and constant reading to get to the manga. That's how I was, and that's how much I was dedicated to try to figure out what the hell is happening. And I don't regret it, because it was a nice time to read. It felt so impactful. Each chapter, each time I was reading, when something major went down, I was like, ooh, shit. So yeah, definitely, if you have read the manga, keep going, don't stop. Especially with the current arc where we're at, a lot of things are popping off, and it kind of makes me worried about how MHA is going to progress through the war arc and through the current arc that we're already in. Like, there's a lot of good important moments that pops up. There's a lot of good stuff that happens, but honestly, for this one reveal that I absolutely liked, it just felt like it was rushed in a way. It felt like it wasn't done the proper justice like it was in the manga. It just felt like it didn't have that impact like it should have, or at least what I thought it would. Like, there was some scenes where I was like, yeah, that's pretty one-to-one, that's pretty good. But then there's other scenes where I'm just like, Like, the facial expressions on Toga was pretty freaking fire. I ain't gonna lie, that was pretty nice. But again, with the pacing, it kind of just felt like a slight bit rushed. Not too much, but it does feel like it was rushed just a little bit, just in my personal opinion. And I mean, you trying to rush Toga's time and try to rush it off screen. Like, we don't do that over here. We like this chick. We over here exaggerate about how good she is. Yes, and I'm using the word we here because if you subscribe to this channel, we all down bad for this. It's nice to see her give her time and don't rush it. That's all I ask for, because she only has a finite amount of scenes, honestly, and I would just like to see her in these scenes not being rushed to death. That's just all I am saying. That's all I'm saying. But that's all I want to say for this one though. So hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification on your way out. Also follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and like to donate to the channel. Patreon is available as well, which we're going to do the Rate the Waifu Cosplay Edition. That's going to be dropping very soon. So yeah, tune into that. And you can watch that for any tier. And until then, this is your boy Jay, signing off. Have a blessed day.
Baby, say my name as if you got a fucking clue. Always caught up in the moment, not condoning what I do. I've been messing with my chemistry to find the better me. Putting thoughts up on the page in hopes that you could get to me. Been this way since legit, my brain couldn't quit. Running from my issues, roll the pain in a spliff. Fade away every hit. Nobody needed me, too afraid to commit.